Hi guys, welcome back to CMD and another video. You join me in the BMW M4 CS. This car has been very kindly lent to me for the day by Aid and his wife Hilary. It's really important that I mention Aid and Hilary as friends of the channel. They've been really kind in loaning me the use of what quite frankly is one of their assets to go out, drive and experience, and to share that experience with you. I don't know why they've done that. Maybe they're mentally unhinged, but part of me believes that it's because they know that the revenue that we generate from videos like the one you're watching right now is all donated to local, national and international charities and good causes. So if you like what you see, please remember to give me a like and a subscribe. Maybe share the video with a few of your friends. It goes a long way and makes a big difference. Right, let's talk about this car because it really is special. About 90 of these, I think, in the UK. The CS should sit between the M4 competition and the CSL. CSL, rear-wheel drive, track-focused, all-out monster. The CS is the sweet spot between the two. Roughly 20 kilograms weight saving from the stock car. Carbon fibre bonnet, absolute thing to behold in the metal or in the carbon fibre. Weight saving inside, we've got a trimmed down centre console. Obviously the carbon fibre buckets, which are, I have to say, far more comfortable than I was expecting. This is the first time I've sat in them and they really are really lovely. Obviously electronically adjustable, super comfortable. They really have done the seating position a lot better than I was expecting. 550 brake horsepower, 600 plus Newton meters of torque, additional suspension, helper springs, lightweight strut at the front that's actually hollow, ZF8 speed gearbox, which is all geared up to make this car, so it's all bespoke built to make this car the best version of what it can be. It's winter here in the United Kingdom, but the sun is shining and I can't think of a better thing to do than to take this thing for a drive and show you what it's all about. So shall we do that? Yes, Rochelle Dale, rhetorical question. Let's start her up. So the first thing to note, I think, as you sort of find yourself in the car and get to know it a little bit, is that we are now in dual screen world. I'm a huge fan of the dials. I know analog has a place, but I'm a real big fan of these double screens. They're super easy to follow. They have a real high-end feel about them just in the graphics and infotainment. Main screen is obviously everything you would expect, from nav to dials, revs, gear, velocity of gear shift is all detailed on there. And then on the left-hand side, I've actually just got the setup of the things like engine, chassis, steering, brakes, xDrive just at hand, and I can sort of toggle those as we see fit and as the car gets warmed up. Of note, this is on a summer tyre. It is winter here in the United Kingdom, and it is dry and it is showing as 9 degrees, but we are going to need some heat in those before we try to have any involvement or enjoyment whatsoever. We've got this beautiful Alcantara M-derived steering wheel. You're aware that you're in something really special when you get inside here. It is a leap on, just from the level of high-end materials. Obviously you lose your center console. There's a bit of a tray for your keys, a few other bits like that, and a wireless charging port, interestingly. Obviously the iDrive is all as it should be, and the center console is what you would expect from an M car. There's no real major changes there, with the exception of where your hands arrive. Gear shifters in carbon fibre, little rubber behind it, real nice touch and feel. It's a very nice tactile place to sit. So there's a 20 kilogram saving on this car in comparison to what you would consider a stock M4 competition. A large majority of that weight saving is done in places like bonnet, boot, carbon fibre, carbon ceramic brakes. Now, I'm not entirely clear on whether the weight saving includes or doesn't include the carbon ceramic brakes, because famously a lot of these cars never got the carbon ceramic brakes, and when I say a lot, over 95%. So I believe there's only a handful of these in the United Kingdom with the carbon ceramic brakes. This car happens to be one of them. to say, the ride I was expecting to be more rigid is far more compliant than I expected. You're aware the chassis is more rigid in itself, but the dampeners are doing a lot of the heavy lifting for you, and they're electronically controlled. I can dial those into Sport, Sports Plus. I'm presently in Comfort. On the UK roads, I genuinely don't think you would come out of that anytime soon. What I am going to do, car's nice and warm now, is just dial the engine up into Sport a little. The steering in Sport is just heavier, just feels a bit more numb. I'm quite happy with it in Comfort, truth be told. Brakes, again, happy with them in Comfort. I'm not going to be pushing the car hard enough to warrant a Sport brake, I don't think. And the xDrive, we'll keep that exactly where it is, along with the traction control. Thank you very much. So definitely more sense of occasion, a lovely feel, a lovely compliance to the ride that I really wasn't expecting. It's not an unruly place to live. I'm on British B roads at the moment, and it's far more comfortable than I expected. I am in a relatively hard, albeit admittedly very comfortable seat, in a somewhere towards a track focused car. I'm not uncomfortable in the slightest. It is definitely slightly stiffer than the M4, but you would expect that, wouldn't you? I wouldn't say it's night and day. In fact, it's barely noticeable. The ZF8 speed, obviously we can dial up the velocity via the shifter, so we can be a bit more aggressive with that. I can pump it into manual. I know a lot of purists want the DCT. My old M2 competition had that gearbox and it is fantastic. I don't feel like this is missing a huge amount, truth be told. Right, let's go and have some fun. See what this thing's really about. She's a big girl on these roads. Okay. State the obvious, a lot of easy power. And the sound's good. I'd imagine that's being pumped in through the cabin. Oh, but it's, wowee. You know, it's way more direct than I was expecting. The front end is extremely pointy. It's hiding weight very well. Oh, this is insanely capable. Yeah, gear shifts in max. You don't miss the DCT, I'm sorry. I dread to think how capable this would be on a track. Anchors work. You would hope so, wouldn't you, from carbon ceramics? Oh yeah, you get that huge shove in the back when you change gear. Lets you know there's some drama and some theatre to the driving experience, but it doesn't feel out of control with its weight. There's a very measured, brutish feel to the whole experience, which I'm actually genuinely not used to from an M car. Feels capable and measured and considered. Yes. Give it a bit again. All your lights start going, let you know where you are in the rev range, give you something to dial. Oh yeah. This road. It's like being on a petrol heads tour. Out the junction. Yeah, lovely, lovely, lovely I'm going to need a moment. So you joined me back in the car. Just had some time with it, really. Very difficult sometimes to film and get a feel for what the car's doing and what it's good at, and trying to make sure that I give as much useful feedback into a video as possible, because this car genuinely warrants it as well. When I was invited to come and film the car, I genuinely don't mind admitting that there's definitely an element of interest in a very rare car produced by BMW M Division that bears the CS badge. But part of my inner snob genuinely believed that it couldn't surprise me too much. I know they come with rave reviews, but I am genuinely shocked at just how good this car is. And it has to be, doesn't it? Because of its price tag. Okay, let's be frank. Okay, 130,000 pound car. I genuinely was concerned that it wouldn't warrant the cost, and that's quite a difficult thing to say when you're driving someone else's car. So really, you've spent that? Are you mad? I'm quite shocked now that I've driven the car that genuinely, if I was in this market, I would consider one of these over the equivalent. Now, to me, the mecca of that would be a 911 Carrera S GTS. You're in the same price bracket quite comfortably before you put options on, and this is a worthy adversary of that car quite comfortably. You still get 4 seats. You get an awful lot of technology and capability. I do think BMW's infotainment is better than anyone's. I include Porsche in that list. And from a capability perspective, okay, we are clearly not as light as a 911, but the performance is so capable and ready and usable. I can only imagine that it would be phenomenal on track. I can dial everything up, and I've really only experienced, you know, 3/10 of what the car's capable of, and actually genuinely on the UK road, that is more than enough. What an absolute treat. I'm sorry, but I've just got to do a little bit more of this, because why wouldn't you? Shoving the back of the gearbox is just wonderful, but it's beyond anything I envisaged, imagined. It's a wonderful thing to behold, to look at. There's a sense of occasion, and my word, does it do that well. And then when you want to, you just dial everything down into efficient, into comfort, 4-wheel drive, take a breath and take it all in. That really is as good a place as any to say goodbye. So that's it from me, guys. What an unbelievable, fantastic treat that I will probably genuinely never get to do again. A huge thank you, as always, to Aid and Hillary, who've allowed me to come and spend time with them, ruin their day, eat their food, and get them helping in all sorts of ways. The community that sort of is around this world, the Petrolheads tours, Paul Stevens and Aid and his wife Hillary, and everyone else who I've met through that circle, genuinely never ceases to amaze me. Their kindness and just level of genuine is the sort of stuff that doesn't occur, that you just don't encounter very often. And I get to sit here, talk to you guys, experience these machines quite literally standing on the shoulders of giants. So thank you, Aid and Hillary, for allowing me to do this. The final thank you goes to you guys for tuning in. We've been set up to make a difference, and we are making that difference regularly. The bigger the channel gets, the more checks we are getting to write, and it is a genuine pleasure and a privilege. So thank you for tuning in. I'll hopefully see you guys again soon. Until then, be good. If you can't be good, be safe.